Hey everyone, it's Dave from Nerdbox and welcome back to another episode of Lost Horror Media. And before we dive into today's topic, don't forget to drop a like and comment on this video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that. Don't worry about the notification icon because we'll be there in your subscription feed. But that like, comment, and subscription helps go a long way for this channel. Now, what if I told you that one of Wes Craven's biggest horror flops started out as a completely different movie? That's right, the film that had a serial killer twist, legendary practical effects, and an entirely different cast. Sounds insane, right? Well, that is exactly what happened to the werewolf film Cursed, where the Weinsteins continued to wage their war with Wes Craven, thinking that they knew horror better than the master himself. Today, we are diving into what happened to the original version of the film, Cursed. That's right, you heard right. There's another version of this movie out there that you have not seen.
Nancy?
You don't want to die of...
Inside.
Or simply rip his head off.
Back in October 2002, Cursed was announced as the next big horror project from Wes Craven and screenwriter Kevin Williamson. Craven and Williamson had shared a highly influential creative partnership that helped redefine horror in the late 90s. Their collaboration began with Scream 1996, a film that combined Williamson's sharp, self-aware script with Craven's masterful direction that revitalized the slasher genre.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Uh-huh.
I only eat popcorn at the movies.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They entered the film with high expectations, hoping to recreate the magic of their Scream collaboration. Originally, they envisioned it as a fresh, self-aware take on the werewolf genre. Cursed had all of the ingredients for success: Craven's horror expertise, Williamson's sharp writing, and a strong cast. But the real hype was the addition of the legendary special effects makeup artist Rick Baker, who was brought in to design the werewolves. Known for revolutionizing practical creature effects in Hollywood, Baker set new industry standards for prosthetics, animatronics, and transformative makeup artistry. Baker's breakthrough came with one of the first horror movies that I remember seeing, and that is An American Werewolf in London. Yes, it's either that or John Carpenter's The Thing. One of those two are number one. I was just a youngin', and I can't remember which one came first. His groundbreaking werewolf transformation effects earned him the first ever Academy Award for Best Makeup, just one of his 7. His resume includes The Exorcist, Star Wars, Videodrome, Thriller, Gremlins 2: The New Batch, Men in Black, and Hellboy. Cursed was originally set to be released in 2003 during the summer, but oh boy, did things go south very fast. Originally, Kevin Williamson wrote the film as a dark, character-driven, and highly self-aware werewolf horror story. The plot followed 3 strangers, played by Skeet Ulrich, Jesse Eisenberg, and Christina Ricci, who survived a car accident in Los Angeles only to discover that they had been cursed by a werewolf. Their intertwined stories explore themes of transformation, fear, and destiny. The film initially had a much larger cast too, including Omar Epps, Mandy Moore, and Heather Langenkamp. And it was meant to be a fresh take on that werewolf genre, with Williamson's signature blend of humor and horror. But Hollywood is going to do what Hollywood is going to do, especially when people with money think that they know more than the people with talent. Bob Weinstein's influence over Cursed played a significant role in the film's troubled production, shaping it into a drastically different movie than the original one that was envisioned by director Wes Craven and writer Kevin Williamson. His interference and last-minute changes to the script led to major casting changes because Skeet Ulrich quit after his role was drastically altered, Mandy Moore was recast, and previously shot scenes with stars like Omar Epps and Heather Langenkamp were thrown into the trash. If that wasn't enough, multiple reshoots dragged the film's production out to mid-2004. So what happened? When Cursed finally hit theaters in February 2005, it was a disaster. The film received largely negative reviews upon its release. Critics criticized its disjointed story, lack of genuine scares, and heavy use of CGI for the werewolf effects, which many felt diminished the film's horror elements. Fans were disappointed, and even Wes Craven himself hated it. Cursed was also a box office disappointment with a reported budget of around $38 million. The film only managed to gross $29.6 million worldwide, failing to recoup its production and marketing costs. The film's R-rated version was heavily cut down to achieve a PG-13 rating, which alienated horror fans and further hurt its appeal. Over the years, though, the film has garnered a small cult following, with some fans expressing interest in seeing the original, unaltered version of the film. But, does it exist? Can it still be seen today? Since its release, there has been rumors of a completed Wes Craven cut of the film, and over the years, cast and crew have slowly pulled back that curtain of the film's tangled history. And while fans of director Wes Craven have long demanded the release of Wes Craven's cut of Cursed, unfortunately, according to the film's editor, Patrick Lussier, that version may never truly exist. Why? Because the original ending was never filmed. That's right. Once again, studios are going to do what studios are going to do. Production was abruptly halted with just 6 days left to shoot, including the film's climactic battle. As time passed and with what they had, Lussier and Craven assembled a 90-minute version of the film, a far cry from what ended up in theaters.
They stopped production just before they were ready to go in and film this final confrontation with that would have been with Skeet and Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg and versus Judy Greer and Scott Baio as the werewolf.
Oh man! With all the recent hoopla over, release the Snyder cuts, is it possible one day to see the Craven cuts or the Lussier cuts of Cursed?
I don't, because it was never finished, that original version. I don't think you could do it. I think you'd have to go back with those three actors who, and you're going back almost 20 years. Their footage was shot in 2003 for that first version. So 18 years, and I don't see anybody wanting to pay for that.
Right.
So will we ever see the original uncut version of Cursed? Personally, I think this is lost media that we will never recover. I would love to see the original movie of Cursed, especially with Rich Baker's practical effects. I think, my God, it could probably be one of the best werewolf movies of all time. But we know how Hollywood works, and if there's only one cut of it somewhere, who's got their hands on it? Now, one thing is certainly for sure, the story behind the film is almost as interesting as it is the movie itself. The Weinsteins once again playing games with Wes Craven, and if you've seen some other videos here about Scream, we've talked about that where they almost fired Wes Craven from the first Scream film. Now, what do you think? Do you want to see the original version of Cursed, or are you one of those fans that have grown to love what it's become today? Let me know by dropping that in the comments. Again, please do drop a like on this video. It really helps get the channel out there and helps get our videos seen by more. Hey, we're not just Scream and Terrifier, so check out our other content and tune in weekends on Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Time to see Howling Hour Live with the Nerdbox crew talking about various topics and rankings. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. If there's any lost horror media that you would like me to explore, again, drop that in the comments or shoot over to the Facebook page and leave me a message. And stay tuned for an exciting announcement that is coming very soon. Until the next episode of Lost Horror Media, see ya.